welcome to K-Drama School. I'm your host, Grace Jung. How are you folks? If you're watching on YouTube, I'm showing you my stuffed turtle. I threw a lot of things away as I was leaving LA, but I brought this turtle with me because it's super cute and it's cuddly and brings me a lot of joy. It's like a very nice thing to hold in your hand when you're feeling like everything is falling apart all around you. Like when you can literally see with your eyes the world crumbling to pieces and life as you know it disappearing, like vanishing before your very eyes. This is like a great thing to have in your hands as you worry about whether or not that destruction will also touch this item and also your hands and your body and your face and the rest of you. And what this turtle is always assuring me of is that yes, it will. So there's your answer. Yeah, everything will disappear. Everything will end. I also have this cat. It's a very, it's a strong cat. It's happy and it's got its paw up in the air with its other paw like pulled back like this. It's a very empowering pose. The tail is lifted up like this. Yeah. I got this cat at a Japanese toy store called Giant Robot in LA. And I got this at an aquarium down at Long Beach. So those are my toys for today. Today I'm going to be talking to a dear friend of mine. Her name is Shirah Roth. She is Israeli. And she is, she's a former comedian, but, she's a performer of some kind, I would say, even to this day. We all are. All of us are performers. But she used to be a singer, she used to be a light worker, healer. I think she still does that because of the work that she is in, the industry that she is in, and she works in the education and healthcare industry. She works with autistic children specifically, and she is currently living in Israel where there is currently a war happening. And so things are very real out there. And my prayer and my plea is that this war ends, that all wars end, and that everybody have peace and harmony. And that'll be my clown plea, because I know humanity to be incapable of doing this. But even if humanity is incapable of doing this, and even though there have been eons of human civilization where we've killed and destroyed one another out of fear and out of blame and hatred, the hope, the undying, everlasting hope that the clown has is that we shall overcome, that we shall succeed in the goals that we set. Yeah. And the clown commits to this with no, without holding back, none whatsoever, without any hesitation. The clown commits. The show I'll be discussing today is Miss Night and Day. This is a JTBC drama, and it stars two very brilliant performers. So Lee Jung-eun, who you all know, she was in Parasite, playing the, I guess the house person. Like I don't know what the appropriate term is. They would call them chipsa, like an assistant, like a house manager. Yeah, the one with the husband in the basement. So she is a very talented theater and stage actress who slowly built her acting career over the years. And then she got her film break with Bong Joon-ho, initially in the film Okja. Yeah, that's a really weird Korean film that is on Netflix that Bong Joon-ho wrote and directed specifically for Netflix. This was actually Netflix's first feature film that they produced and distributed solely on the Netflix platform. Yeah. And it had a lot of issues because Weinstein was producing it, and Weinstein drove everybody crazy. So anyway, Ukja is the film. It's about like this pig, hybrid pig that they invented to eat, but farmers are like taking care of them, and then a little girl like falls in love with the pig, and it's like she doesn't want to let the pig die, so she goes and rescues the pig. So so Lee Jung-eun, stage actress Lee Jung-eun, played the voice of the pig in Okja. That was how she started her film career with Bong Joon-ho, and then she eventually became a very important supporting actress in the film Parasite, the Oscar winner Parasite. So Lee Jung-eun is on this show, and she's an actress that we've seen in other K-dramas, like Our Blues, for instance. What a force. Such a force in that show. And, like this is something I've noticed with a lot of Korean TV dramas, but like they are not afraid to cast women who are middle-aged as the lead. Sky Castle is a good example of that. And this is another good example of that. Chung Eun-ji is the other actress who is playing the lead role, and she is somebody we know from the Reply series. She was specifically in Reply 1997. She played the high school girl who was obsessed with Pada from SES, and I really related to her on many levels because, first of all, Chung Eun-ji was born and raised in Busan, which is where I was born and first raised the first 5 years of my life. And then she also maintains her Busan Saturi, her regional dialect, throughout the show, but in life, even when I watch her in like reality shows, I remember seeing her on Running Man, and she kept her Busan dialect, her accent, and I was like, this girl's real. Like, she is very authentic and bold and genuine, and I really love her. She's also a very talented actress. She really knows how to perform. She's not self-conscientious. She knows how to commit to the moment. She really gives it her all, and that's exactly Lee Jung-eun. So Lee Jung-eun and Chung Eun-ji, they had an excellent sort of, I don't know, like they're not on camera a lot. Like in the last episode, they're on camera together. I meant, are they on camera together a lot? No. In the last episode, they are. And it's a very moving moment. I remember feeling like really emotional for some reason. I was like, why is this making me cry right now? But that was a very powerful moment. Like how do we speak to the self, and how do we also recognize that the self is also one another, because we're all interrelated. Every time I talk to somebody, it's like, oh, this is not just that person speaking. And this isn't just me speaking to that person. We're mirroring each other to some extent. We're mirroring each other's hang-ups. We're mirroring each other's awe, whatever it is. Like anything that we have going on within us, yeah, that's what's being mirrored back. So I thought that was like a fascinating sort of way of showcasing that, like, this future you, this past you, this present you, we're all one, but it's also like we're very distinct, very different. How do we apply this notion of like speaking to another version of ourselves with other human beings, other people that we come across? How can we do that? That's something that's just on my mind lately because I'm in a new place. I'm in a transition phase. I'm in the process of shedding things and acquiring things. And that also applies to people and relationships. So yeah, something to think about, something to consider. And it's not an easy question. It's not an easy question to deal with, but it's nevertheless important. So I'll be talking to Shirah about this show, Miss Night and Day. And Shirah's a dear friend. We met in Berlin. And we just hit it off. I loved how weird she is and how quirky she is. I loved her, like older sister energy. She has like Unni vibes, older sister energy. She has auntie energy. just a dear friend, somebody that I definitely enjoy talking to because she's like a spiritually open being as well. So yeah, let's enjoy this talk with Shirah Roth. Thank you for joining me.
Well,
Have you had a good week?
I started my summer break today, this morning. It started. So,
Mazel. Yeah. Yeah.
should I put more light? Like, can you see me well?
I think you're okay. If you want to put on more light, you
Good,
can,
good.
but you don't
Can
have
you see
to.
my cat? Can you see my cat?
I can see Xena. You and Xena. Beautiful. I love that. How is Xena?
She's sitting here and looking at me.
She's
Yeah.
like, what's Shira talking about right now?
Yeah, like, I think she's a bit jealous
Oh, yeah.
because, like, I'm talking and I'm not talking to her,
Exactly.
which is like,
She wants all the attention to herself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be
I don't blame
positive
her.
or negative. No, I don't blame her
Hmm.
either. I want my
Yeah,
all
yeah.
attention as well.
Exactly. And you
Yeah.
know what? You deserve it. She deserves it. Hey, look what I have on my desk.
Oh,
Can you see?
meow.
It's a
Yeah. It
cat.
looks like a cat that's just about to scratch something.
Yeah, it's reaching
Nice.
for the sky.
Yay.
It's gray, like Xena.
Yeah. Yeah. Xena is a
Mm.
star. That's for sure.
She is. She is. What does
She
Xena
is.
mean again?
Well, it's a Russian name. I did not name her. I
Mm.
received her with that name, but I like to call her Zen Zina.
Hmm.
And then she's my Zen teacher.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Animals are good teachers.
Oh yeah. And I took her in because I was scared, like really scared from like about cats.
Yes.
And the first year was hell. It was hell. But yeah, she's a really good cat to teach boundaries.
Mm.
Like you can pet her only if she says yes. You cannot do whatever you want with her.
Oh, yeah.
She has to agree. She has to come. Like she's the one who comes for petting. You don't just reach out your
Mm.
hand to her because she'll go meow. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
she is a great cat, and I'm very thankful for her. Yeah,
Mm. I love that.
it was like a
Beautiful.
present that the universe gave me.
Yeah.
A
They were
stray
like,
cat, a stray street
yeah.
cat. Yeah,
Yes.
why not?
Yes. Get this cat from the street and see what an amazing teacher she is to you about boundaries, about love, affection.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
love that.
about coming over fear. Like
Yes.
if I receive, because I asked for a gift from the universe, and that's the gift that I got. So if the
Mhm.
universe gave me this gift, the universe knew what it was doing. Like I had to trust the universe for giving me the best gift ever, and not saying,
Mhm.
"Oh, why? Why am I like? What do I need a cat for?" And more than that, this is the worst part. I'm like, okay, so I'm single. I'm turning 40. What do I need a cat for? I'm gonna be a single woman cat
Yeah.
lady. Oh no.
Yeah. 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 It's
But
like the
she's
universe
the
like,
best.
don't resist it. Don't
Yeah,
resist
I
it. It's
know.
happening. This is for you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
And it's been a great journey with her. Like
Exactly.
we've been together for the last 3 years. So
Uh
yeah, I'm just about to turn soon. I'll turn 43, but we've
yeah.
been together almost for 43 years, for 3 years, and it's amazing, like how much affection, and how when you reduce fear, there's a new space that that opens. Like the fear covers the space of actually
Yeah.
being able to be in in harmony. and
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that like Zina is not a cat that you lift up and like you mess around with. And
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. Zina is a cat that teaches boundaries, but she does come and cuddle with me, and she does
Yeah.
come and ask for pets. Well, we were talking a lot about Zina. I don't know if she deserves that much time. Of course she does. Of course you do. But
Of course we Yes.
yeah,
Yes. I was right before hopping on the call with you, I was reading a book about Lilith, which we've talked about before.
yeah,
And like the book is very good at validating like like a woman's uncertainty about her wildness, like
yeah.
her gut her gut intuition or her natural responses, her natural reactions, her natural bodily cycles and things like that. Cause like I think we're and it's not just women, men get it too. And people who are non-gender binary get it too. I mean, I think that's why they choose to be non-gender binary because they don't want to be restricted in that way. But like to honor the body for what it is and to honor the natural cycles for what they are, because society and the mind, like the concepts that human minds create, tend to try to restrict that or um, block it or pretend like it's bad or pretend like it shouldn't be that way, not allowing us to just be freely as ourselves. And I was kind of thinking about that a little bit when you were talking about how like, oh, you're reaching 40 and now you have a cat and it's like I'm becoming this cat lady thing. And I feel like women are more vulnerable to that kind of negative stigmatization and like that kind of negative like conceptualization. Like we're made to feel ashamed for
Mm,
being as we are. And like I'm at a point in my life where I like really don't want to give a shit, you know? Like I don't want to give a shit about what people think should be. Like I don't want to care what people think I like Grace should be this way or she should be this kind of person or professor or scholar or comedian or it's like I don't care about those things anymore. And with that comes some empowerment, but I also sensed it comes with a lot of like pain and conflict, like inner conflict. And so I was like really relating to you when you mentioned like, oh, like I'm doing this to overcome my fear. It's like you have this clear intention, and yet there's this other side of like, am I becoming a cat lady? I don't want to be perceived that way. You know, it's like so.
I
It's
don't
just
care
I.
about being perceived that way. Like I truly do not
Yeah.
care. That's the great thing
Yeah.
about for me about getting older is
Yeah.
the less young that I am, the more I
Yeah.
give shit about what other people think about me.
Mhm.
As a young lady, I cared so much about everyone's
Yes.
opinion because I didn't have an
Mhm.
opinion of my own. Like I still
Mm.
was kind of being shaped by society. And as you go as I grow older, I have more and more, not it doesn't have to be an opinion, it can be also like fractions of thoughts, but I know
Yeah.
more what I am or what I'm not, or I don't care if I
Yeah.
am or not. So I like that about
Yeah.
being old. But I was scared about becoming a cat's, I mean, this cat lady, because as you said, inside of my mind, I was expecting something else from my life. I thought that
Ah.
until I get to 40, I will definitely meet a man that I
Mm.
am interested in,
Mm.
and he's interested in me, and we will conform
Mm.
like a family because that's something that I actually want. So,
Mm.
like, of course, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not. I was not scared that my neighbors will say, "Here's the cat lady walking." Like, I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, anyways,
Yeah.
most when people see me, they conceive like they think that I'm something else than what I am. Anyway, so like I
Mm,
don't care.
right.
Um,
Right.
but it was for me
Mm,
because I was expecting from my life.
yeah, I
I was
see. I
sure
see.
that by the time that I'm in a certain age where my body functions are
Mm,
starting to, tell me, time's up.
yeah.
I thought that I would be already, like a family woman, which I want to be.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does not mean that the life that I live is not a good life. I am very,
Uh-huh.
very happy to be who I
Yes.
am in my life. I am
Yes.
very lucky. Um, and and here the universe told me you're not going to be alone.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're going to bring you a Zen teacher into your house. How about that? And I'm like, okay, yeah, bring it on, bring it on. And they're like, Shirah, the universe gives you a gift. You better look after it. And I'm like, yeah, 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 give me that gift. And then they give me a cat, and I'm like, no. So-
Yeah. That's the cosmic joke, right? That's what like spiritual mystics say. Like, because our conscious mind is so different from our subconscious. Our subconscious is the soul, the real intention of like why we enter these bodies. And our conscious mind, the ego, thinks it knows. I have a plan. This is what I want. This is how it's going to go. Yada, yada, yada. And then the soul is like, I hear you and I honor that, but I know what's best for this existence
yeah.
actually. So in that regard, like what I'm hearing is like you kind of surrendered. You're like, "Okay, yes, universe, like yeah, let's do it. This wasn't what my conscious plan was, but you have this other thing that's happening and it is fulfilling other arenas for me that's working for me." And you calling that a gift is like, I mean, I think that's powerful because I remember in Berlin, like we were doing stand up and somebody heckled me in the audience and it distracted me totally. Like it threw me off course. Like it derailed my whole set. I was like really irritated. So
Yeah.
I was
And the
joking.
joke was about Forrest Gump. You
Yes,
had a joke
exactly.
about Forrest Gump.
I had
Yeah.
such a good memory. Yes, I was joking about Forrest Gump, and then this guy, he was just excited. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, like that," and he was just like talking back as
Captain
if
Dan,
like we're in
Captain
a
Dan.
yeah, yeah, like as if we're having a conversation and this is not a show. And I was like, you just distracted me, you dumb fuck. Like and people laughed, but he looked so sorry. Like he looked like, oh my god, like what have I done? And then like he and I talked after the show. He was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, no, 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 like I'm sorry, like we're cool. It's like, don't worry about it. It's like, it's just a joke. It's a show. And then in the green room you were like, Grace, when the audience gives you a gift, just take it. Like you were just like, just accept it. That's a gift. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right. And again, the lesson there is, again, don't resist life as it unfolds. The way life is unfolding is actually perfect. What my conscious mind, what my ego decides to be, this is an inconvenience, or this is bullshit, or this shouldn't be. That is resistance. And it's like, if you want to be in the flow of life, and if you really want to honor the nature that you are as part of this earth and universe and everything as it is, then it's really to, again, treat every moment like a gift and be like, this is the unfolding of the way it is, and it has nothing to do with me, not really.
Has nothing to do with what I wish that the paper that says Shirah will look like. Like life is a
Yes.
bit more into it. Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
love that.
no, I mean, like meeting you in Berlin was such a perfect Dow moment. Like it was exactly at the right time. Like we met in different places. There was like this something about you from the first moment that I felt we had a connection, and we had so many things like common and not common. And look
Mm.
now, like we've been years later. I stopped doing stand up, obviously, uh, but we're good friends, and we live in like different countries. We have different lives, but we have a strong connection, and I love that. That's both of us surrendering to what it is.
To
And
what
the
it
great
is.
thing about, I mean, and I mean, it's great and difficult about surrendering is that you do not surrender once. You have to
Mm.
constantly surrender. Like, it will not be enough if you say, yes, I surrendered, that's it, why isn't it working? Oh no, no,
Exactly.
no. You have to be in that state of accepting what is outside as part of what is inside, and kind of
Yes.
being with it, and not saying, but the inside said I need to get there, but you're not there, you're right here. Yes, I was supposed to be a married woman, but I'm
Yeah.
not. And
Yeah, yeah,
happens to
yeah.
be that I live this life of a free woman that,
Yeah.
you know what, I did not expect, but, or I did not like achieve to get there, but yeah, baby, I walk
Yeah,
around with
baby.
hairs on my leg. Woo! Life is good. I lift my arms
Yeah.
and everyone can see the natural woman I am. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
yeah,
I
so
love
that's what
that.
it is.
I think, I mean, you were like, I think we talked about Xena for too much, but honestly, we haven't because we agreed to meet to talk about Miss Night and Day. And there is a cat on that show, is there not?
You know what? Everything is because of that magical cat. So I felt that we did not speak about Xena enough. But I, wa- I wanted to say another thing. Like, we talked about Miss Night and Day, and actually, we are making that happen right
Mm,
now. You are Miss Day,
yes.
and I am Miss
Yes.
Night. Like,
Yes.
it's evening, almost night here, and you are probably in the
Yes.
morning, right?
Yes. Yes. And you gave me two tarot cards in Berlin. One was the moon card and the other
Oh
was the sun
yeah,
card.
oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, look at that
Look at
closure.
that.
Woo! I'll do it in the Korean way. I'll do it in the Korean way. Closure. Yay! That's you. That's me. We're doing whoop.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that cat on that show is so cute. It has like the little
Oh
folded
yeah.
ears and the round face.
Tiny legs. Tiny
So
legs.
short,
Like
so cute.
tiny
Oh,
legs. Absolutely. Like
yes.
oh, like
Ooh, crawling
absolutely.
around. Beautiful
Beautiful.
cat.
Beautiful cat.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
With
heard
long
that
fur.
yes, very fluffy. Like it looks so
Yeah.
cuddly and like adorable, and it does look mystical. I mean, and it looks friendly. Like has like it's like orange and cream colored and so like I don't know, it's
But
like
the
a cat of
tail goes
light.
but the tail's like the cat's tail is kind of wiggly, and with cats that's not a good sign. But
Yeah,
it's
it's got a
still TV.
trickster
It's not
element.
real life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was just like I heard this recently. I heard that cats, when they look at you, they don't see you physically first. They first see your energy.
Mm,
So they
mm.
see like your aura first. They see things that like ordinary civilians don't see with their eyes. Like cats are kind of mystical shamanic in that way. They can see aura and energy first and then they
Interesting.
see everything else. Yes. So that I think that's
That's
why like
interesting.
yeah, I think that's why for so long cats were associated with like kings and priests and gods and things like that.
Well,
Um
I might be mistaken. I like this needs
mm,
to be checked. Like
okay.
I'm not sure that this is true, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that cats are the only animal that domesticated itself.
Mm,
That means wolves became dogs by man. Like
Hmm.
They joined the pack of men and then became dogs or
Yes.
foxes or whatever that is.
Mm.
But cats were the only animal that domesticated itself, and cats, like in nature, are much more silent. But
Mm.
because they're trying to imitate kind of maybe babies crying meow meow and this
Yeah.
sweet
Yeah.
voice, and there's something about them. So for me, having a cat in my house is actually having a tamed tiger or tamed
Hmm.
kind of lion or something like that,
Hmm.
um, that wishes to live with me. Like the part of the process with Zena was not only me accepting her, but it was her accepting me and choosing me. So
Mm.
it's, yeah, cats are amazing. Cats are very interesting.
Mm.
And I feel that before she sees something, she smells it. Like her
Mm.
nose is, her ability to smell stuff is amazing. And
Mm.
she knows I'm coming back home before I reach the door. Like I
Yes.
will hear her meowing, saying, "Hello, where are you? Where are you? Come here."
Hmm.
When I'm already on the steps, like up to get up to the flat. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. Like I've heard that too about cats, like, um, choosing to go into like human beings' homes and
mm,
assimilating in that way. And it's like there's always that question. It's like, well, why did they choose to do that? You know, like biologists and people who do science, they'll say, well, it's a survival thing. And you and I talked about that, about cats learning about like hearing a baby's cry and imitating it so that humans will feel affection towards it and want to feed it, want to tend to it. Like, I think their sense of adaptation, on the one hand, it might be survival to some extent, but then I'm not interested in that. My question is, what is the mystical, bigger reason, the higher
yeah.
reason, the purpose that cats chose to do that? And yeah, I also heard like dogs can do this too. Animals are very sensitive to understanding their family's rhythms. So, my dog, I didn't know this, but this was my first dog, my family's first dog. He's dead, unfortunately. But my mom said he could hear my dad driving like from
Mm.
around, like far away off the street. Like he could hear the car driving coming through, and then the dog will get excited. Not even on the driveway, like from the street coming through.
Ah,
So that means animals are sensitive even to how they operate machinery, how they walk, how they move. And there's something so intimate about that. Like they are engaged in our dance, you know, they are sensitive to our rhythm and motions and movements. It's so like beautiful in a way. Mm.
and they do bring a lot of magic into our world.
Yes. Yeah.
And in Miss Day and Miss Night, like she actually brings magic into this woman's world.
Literally.
Like
I mean, literally.
literally, yeah.
Like,
Although in the shamanic Indian tradition, the animal that brings magic into your world is crow, but this time
mm.
it was a cat.
It was a
And
cute
it
little kitty
was,
cat. Hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
laughing.
And I was just like, first of all, I was wondering, what is it about this show that's like speaking to you? Like, what was it that you were like, oh, this
Oh,
show is interesting to me? What was the hook?
well, talking about cosmic timing, okay? So I heard a few weeks ago, a bit over, I don't know, but when I started seeing the show, it was because I
Yeah.
was injured and at
Mm.
home. My back
Mm.
went, like I lifted something which was too heavy for me to lift in a bad way, and I like my back went and I couldn't move. I was stuck at
Mm.
my like, and I'm stuck at home. Zena will not make my food, so I had to, you know, get myself somehow. But like I was at home for like 2 weeks,
Oh.
trying to just get myself back, and that was a perfect time to catch on to this show. And I felt just like that woman that is partly young and partly old. Here I hurt my
Mm.
back, and I'm 60 years old now. um, I can't move. and I
Yeah.
feel and I feel old because I'm using a stick to just get up and move and walk, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
so old in a young body.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel that that's something that I actually feel in most of my life, that I was always this old soul in this young body, and that there is this um how can we say that there's this part of me that if I talk to the young people my age, they won't see.
Hmm.
But if I talk to an older person, they'll like, okay, eye level, but they won't see the youngness inside of me. So I I I, I enjoyed that. That was interesting.
Mm.
Also,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. You mentioned Berlin. In Berlin, I
Yeah.
had my day life and my night life. And my day life was working, looking after babies of other people,
Mm-hmm.
being
Mm-hmm.
a nanny, and then like just a simple person, and then suddenly at one point of the day, I change my clothes, I put something on me, and I go out, and I'm a whole different person, and have my
Mm-hmm.
nightlife, and and that was quite interesting as an experience, having like more than one life in one go.
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you have an orange sweatshirt or sweater when you were in
Oh, no,
Berlin?
no, it was a onesie. I
Oh,
had
the
an
orange
orange
onesie.
onesie, which I used
Yes,
to
yes.
wear and perform
Yes.
in, and I loved it.
I I met you in that onesie. I was like, I will never forget this color.
Yeah. Do you
Such
know
a
how
great
many
color.
comedians gave me the same joke, telling me that I just look like I broke off prison with this orange onesie? And it
I was
was
thinking
interesting, yeah.
like a pumpkin, like it's such a right? It's a fun color.
Yeah.
It's a perfect clown color. Like clowns will usually do like white or red, but like orange is like very it's like so bright and energetic and loud and fun, and it's
I didn't have to
perfect for
wear
the
makeup.
stage. That's the
I
thing.
did not
That's
have to
your
wear makeup. All I had to do is just put
yes.
that orange onesie, and I'm there.
Yes.
That's it. I'm
Yes.
done.
So simple. Perfect. It's like the
Yeah.
perfect clown nose. The perfect red clown
Yeah,
nose, but it's a
absolutely.
onesie. Beautiful. And it's a great color because it's like sacral chakra, right? Like the second
Yeah.
chakra,
Yeah.
creativity, feeling, knowing yourself. That's a big one.
Mm.
Expressing and knowing yourself, like um, getting in touch with your body, and that cat in the show was orange. And I remember the character, like when she's the young person, she's so frustrated and she's crying and she's like, I did everything right. I did all the tests. I studied. I worked hard. Why am I not getting this job? Why am I not getting employed? And it's such a common grievance that young people have at that age. I could relate to it on so many levels from so many different parts of my life, over and over again. I think that's the gift of being a creative person is that, job precarity is like always there, or just like a mystical person, or a person who's just like saying to life, okay, stability is an illusion, there will never be such a thing, I will always have to figure things out, I will always have to be on my toes. But this young lady on the show, she was like, I've had enough, I'm so tired. And then the next day it's like, now you're an old lady. Now you're really tired, now you're physically old and tired. Now, like, all the things that you don't want, they're all happening. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And then yeah, and then that's when her life really starts to happen. It's like, oh, I can't sit around and dick around. Like, um the life force is forcing me to make moves. I have to go out and do something, even if I have to lie, even if I have to do weird things, even have to live this double life, I still have to do it. And then she goes through it and then she gets everything she wants. She gets a boyfriend, she gets a job, you know. I was also thinking about like timeline too. Like, what did you think in terms of like the present self and the future self? I was kind of thinking in regards to that too.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I felt like maybe the older her when she's daytime, like that's that young lady's like future self visiting her
Mm.
like in the
Mm.
present. So you're going to embody this at one point, but try embodying it now. See how it works for you, you know. And yeah,
Interesting.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah, yeah. What about you? Do you
Yeah.
like believe in like the future self speaking to you at times? Do you have things like that?
Oh yeah, the future self told me to stop doing stand up. So I did. Like, I relate to what you were saying about I did everything right. Okay, I had like
uh,
really good funny material and did everything right, and I
yeah,
was, starting to get it and working
yeah.
out, and everything was cool, but like I felt that I was not there. Why am I not working in comedy? Why am I
Mm,
in this constant, why am I not getting a spot on that person's show? It was like
mm,
constant, why not? It's a constant fight with the universe of I'm doing everything right. Why am I
yeah,
not getting this?
right.
And well, I had this mushroom trip, and this mushroom trip told me this, I don't know, time travel, I'm not sure about that, but it was my future self said to me, you're gonna stop doing stand up and you're gonna go back to living in Israel. Like, I was living in
Yes.
Berlin, I had my show, I had
Yeah.
stuff going on for me, but universe said to me, and maybe my future self said to me, that I will not be willing to live with that future self if I carry on in this path.
Mm,
And I better make that change because my future self knows that I want something else in my life.
mhm,
And I came back to Israel, started working with autistic people,
mhm,
and well, people on the autistic spectrum is the way to say that.
mhm, mhm,
Um, but and then in the last few years, working with toddlers,
mhm,
which are on the autistic spectrum, and out of nowhere, university came to me, and I started to study for my degree, like for education, and I'm going to become a kindergarten teacher. So this is this is the future self. Tell
yeah.
me, you're wrong. You're on the wrong path. Pick another.
Mhm,
If you want to
yeah.
see this good future self, pick another path. So I did.
Mhm, yeah. Yeah.
And I feel that for this woman as well, like this young lady, well, she's not really young, she's not in her 20s, and that's why she's so upset, because she's saying like, I've wasted 10 years, I'm about to be in my 30s, I'm becoming old, and it's not working out.
Yeah.
And then her future self says to her, no, you have to take things, like, there's things that you have to fix about yourself,
Mm,
like you have
right.
to manage it differently. You have to
Yeah.
start cleaning. You have to start
Yeah.
cleaning.
Yeah.
After you clean, something else will open up, and you'll find what's the next step. But
Yeah.
you have to start cleaning.
And it's interesting you call it cleaning because she literally became a cleaning lady initially.
Yeah, that's
That was
true.
her first job. And
Yeah.
then, like, as a cleaning lady, when she rescued that guy from the acid attack, like, that's when things started moving.
Yeah,
But it's like she had to first be a cleaning lady in order to be in that position,
absolutely.
to be in that place in the first place. So cleaning is such a
Accept a
good word for
job.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you had to take a
Here's
job
an available
and
job.
do, yeah,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
needed. Not what her ego told her. You need to be A. You need to be D.
yeah,
No, you're gonna
yeah,
be C, cleaning. Or is that in
yeah,
English? I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Go with the flow. Like we've
Yeah.
selected things for you. Go and pick up the pieces and go with the flow. Um as I was leaving LA, like I think there's some parallels to what you were experiencing in Berlin too. Like as I was leaving LA, and I remember just like trying to hold it together, but it's like when your survival mode kicks in, oh, like the body takes over. The body fully took over. Like no matter how much I was trying to use my mind and my words to psych myself up, it's like no, the
Hmm.
body's in survival mode and it will do whatever it needs to get you out of this situation. And just I was like, okay, so let me just say yes to that then. Because I was resisting it very much. I was like, I mean, I can't give this up. I can't give up everything I built here and now. And it's like, no, we're giving it up for you. We're taking it away, actually. Like, I threw away so much of my life there. And I
Yeah.
was just like horrified by it. It's like Job. It's like the book of Job. Like, these are the things that you got. And man, does the Almighty take it away. All gone. All gone. Everything's dead. Everything is gone. And I was
It's not
like,
take
all
it
right,
away, clean it away.
cleaning it out.
Cleaning
Yeah,
it. Oh,
cleaning it out.
yeah.
But also reminding me, this was the big lesson in there, reminding me, none of this was yours in the first place, Grace. Such a excellent lesson for me. You did not, none of this was yours. You didn't own any of, yeah, okay, you worked and you bought something and it's in your house. You think that's yours, baby? No. None of this belongs to you. And it was just like, let me show let me show you how hard I can go. And it just brought me to my knees in like a way that I was like a baby, so helpless to the whole thing. And it was like it was actually beautiful. Yeah. I was like, can I like survive this? Like, am I gonna be alive after this? And then like
Mm.
I am, you know. And I was like, I don't know what it was that I was thinking or feeling, because I was just kind of like zoned out and just watching life happen, like because it was so fast. This was like May, June, like left
Mm.
LA, drove across country back to New York, stayed with my parents for 3 weeks dealing with that shit, moving to Madison from New York, driving, and then like going out and buying furniture and new appliances. And I just felt such a heaviness in my heart when I'm like buying shit that I just threw out. Like seeing
Yeah.
the absurdity of it, like the human
Yeah.
waste of it all, and the
Yeah.
just the ridiculousness of it all, and how out of my hands it all is, and yet my hands are the ones that are doing it.
Yeah.
And like I'm still in it, like I can't say that this is challenging. It's more just like I'm in a certain kind of like transitional portal sphere at the moment.
Yeah.
And this is why like mystics say suffering is grace, because they're like, when you're suffering,
Mm.
you are the closest to God. You are the closest to um really letting it go and letting it happen. And all the lessons are coming in so easily and smoothly because I'm out of the way. Because I'm just like, I can't even deal with this shit. It's too much.
Mm.
And so I'm just out of the way. And then like the lessons are happening and I'm just reading the scrolls kind of thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
I
relate to
understand,
that.
like, yeah, I
I
I
relate to
relate
that.
to
And I,
your experience in Berlin and your transition back to, Israel, and picking up the pieces there. And like I feel like I understand. And of course I've gone through this before. I have gone
yeah.
through aspects of this before. Like I've lived in New York and Seoul and Berlin and LA. Like I've gone through this many times, but each time it's so radically new. It's the
Mm.
same kind of steps, but it's radically new. there are some reminders, but there are also new lessons. And I get to examine where I'm at, how I'm taking it all, you know? So my mantra has been, I belong wherever I am. Like that's what I've been
Wow,
saying to myself for the last 2 months.
that's
I belong
nice.
wherever I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when I came back to Israel, it was really, really tough. Like it was, I was still like Berlin affected me so much. I came back and people were telling me that my accent has changed. Like I dressed like a Berliner, where no one else dressed like a Berliner, and I was the weirdo on the bus. So I was many times. I mean, Berlin has this really high fashion of looking like a homeless, and that's what
Yeah.
people thought that I was walking here in in Beersheba
Yeah.
city, homeless. And I was homeless in a certain way. Like I
Yeah.
did not know where my home is,
Yeah.
and going back, returning to home. Like I'm not talking about the house home, but
Yeah.
home inside of me,
Yeah.
is such a difficult path to walk because you are constantly letting go of what your mind is telling you that home is. And I had to just be there and be silent, like not even answer back to people, including my family, that some of them said like horrific stuff to me, horrific stuff. And I'm just there and I'm hearing it and I'm observing it, but I'm saying, Shira, like, this is them speaking. Don't, this is not you. It's like, okay, let them just express themselves and give
Mm.
time. Let the time show how it will unfold and what differences will happen. And it is a really tough route to walk on, but
Yeah.
it is liberating. It is really liberating because when you stop following that, um, shopping list that you have of
Mhm.
who is a happy Shira. Ah, she needs to
Mhm.
be A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And I actually am there in the morning. And even if
Yeah.
it's a tough day, I look in the mirror and I'm smiling and I say to myself my
Yeah.
mantra, just
Yeah.
just for today, I am
Mm.
letting go of anger. And just for
Mm.
today, I'm letting go of fear. And
Mm.
just for today, I'm going to do my work in integrity. And
Mm.
just for today, I am thankful for everything that I have in my life. And just for
Mhm.
today, I will be in compassion for every living creature. I will
Yeah.
respect my parents, my friends, and everyone that I know. And that
Mm.
mantra, like, saying it again and again and again, it kind of gives me that home of
Mm.
this is my place. I'm not um, detached. No,
Yeah.
I am attached to that, to just for today. And
Mhm.
and that's really so important. Like I'm going back to the series, okay, because we're talking about Korean
Yeah.
series, and
Yeah.
and in the end, when she gets to that point where she's done everything, she told her parents. Her parents
Yep.
accepted her for being this old woman.
Yeah.
um Everyone like knows that there's something missing there and she doesn't know what to do anymore, and she's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm letting go, I'm starting again. And
Yeah.
nothing really external changes her. It is
Yeah.
something in that magic, that very little moment, that, and it also has these kind of bells, ding 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 ding, and that's it, and she's done.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the thing that she had to do, though. It was like to let her mother know. I was trying to satisfy your
Mm.
preference on how to live. That's why it wasn't working. And then this boyfriend of hers is like, I wish you would do something you love. I wish you would do whatever that might be, whether you go to school or choose a job or whatever it is, I wish you would go do something you love. And that's the big difference, is like at any point we can choose to be motivated by fear or motivated by love, right? That's like the constant
Oh my
moment by
God.
moment
Most people are
choice.
motivated by fear. Like the people that I see around are constantly in the chase of
Yeah.
more money, of more cars, more
Yeah.
stuff. And that's such a shame because like they'll grow old one day and they will ask, where did my life go to? Like
Right.
what did I spend it on?
Yeah.
And we should actually spend it on ourselves and the contacts and the communications that we have in our lives, our
Hmm.
attachments in life, like the people that we love, or maybe
Hmm.
loving the people that are around us, not only the like accepting
Yeah.
whoever that's around us. And
Woo.
buddhism says that buddhism
Yeah.
says that, like, who are your friends? Anyone that I meet, they're
Literally
my friend.
everybody.
Like whoever that I
Yeah.
see is my friend. My
Yeah.
enemy, yeah, he's my friend. So
Also a friend.
yeah,
Also a
yeah.
teacher.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Like finding that place of not putting it on her mother. Like it's not because you, like blaming her because of you. I didn't do it. No,
Yeah.
no, no. I took it upon myself to become
Yeah.
what I thought you think I should be, and I'm letting
Yeah.
it go.
Yeah.
Um, I am who I am, which
Yeah.
is good.
Breaking
Like,
free of that. It is. And her mother needed to hear it. That's the other
oh
thing, is like she was afraid to tell the truth for fear of hurting her mother, because her mother suffered this loss. She lost her sister and couldn't let it
yeah,
go. And she was trying to protect her mother in some ways, but it's like,
yeah,
girl, you need to speak your truth no matter what the impact might be on them, because if you keep this in, it's going to kill you. Like it's going to turn you
yeah,
into an old lady. And you know, I think that's a big thing, like finding yourself, finding your truth, claiming your power, and braving that part is like, we all know this. Like I know this to my core. Like when I hurt somebody I love, I'm hurting myself. I know that to the
yeah.
core. It's not even somebody I love. When I hurt anybody,
I
I'm
heard it.
also equivaling hurt, because we're all one, right? As we know, everybody and everything is one. So it's understanding that, like, it's still part of the dance. My self preservation and self love must also be part of the equation. My expression, my truth must also be part of the equation. And that's such a hard lesson for people to swallow, especially young women. Like I remember I could never say no or express my truth. Even if I sound like confident and I sound as if like, oh, Grace is pretty rough around the edges. Like I get that people are like, oh, Grace is intimidating, but they don't know me. Like I'm so sensitive, and I try my best not to say or do things that might cause injury, because I'm afraid of how it will affect me. But if I
Yeah,
suppress my truth and my honesty, that's the biggest sin of all. So like I love this like, honestly, it took me a while to warm up to this show. I was like,
yeah,
I don't know if this is for me. But as when the old lady got the job in the lawyer's office, that's
yeah.
when I was like, okay, now I'm on board, because this is crazy. Like how is she gonna manage this?
Yeah.
Like there were so many things about this show that I had issues with. Like that actress, I love that actress, the young actress. She's great. But
Oh, she was the lawyer on the autistic spectrum in
no, that's not
that's
Attorney
not her?
Wu. That's not her. That's not her.
No?
Totally
Oh,
different
I'm
actress.
I'm so racist.
Um
I'm sorry.
it's, it's okay. You're not racist, like, but very, very, very different actress. This young actress, she was in a show called Reply 1997. She used to be a K-pop star, and then she did the show Reply 1997, and
Oh,
she comes
was she the
from
diva? Was she the singer in the show Diva?
no, that was the same actress from Attorney Woo.
Oh my God,
That's
I'm getting this wrong.
so she was on a show called Reply 1997, and she that show was very successful. It was like nobody expected the show to be successful, but it was a huge hit. And she's also a very unlikely star. She has this regional dialect that is the same as my family's dialects from Gyeongsangnam-do. It's from the southeast part of Korea, and it's a very hard dialect. It's you sound like a
Oh,
thug or a gangster. Like it's very
really?
rough. Yeah,
I would
and
never know that.
she yeah, but she never lost the dialect. Usually, a lot of stars will like adopt the Seoul dialect, which is like smoother, sounds more proper. It's like German. You know, they have proper
Yeah, yeah,
German, high German. They have that in Korea too. Like, oh, you don't want to sound like a country girl, so you want to like sound like a Seoul
yeah.
person. So they adopt a dialect. She never did that, and I always respected this performer for preserving herself as she is and presenting herself as she is. Me, like, there's nothing for me to be ashamed of. This is the way I speak. I like it, and she got this role, and she's still working. And the older actress, of
That's good.
course, she was in Parasite, she was in
Oh,
Our Blues. Like what a tremendous actress she is. Like
she is
um
amazing.
amazing. And again,
She
an
is.
unlikely lead. Like in a lot of TV shows, they don't give a leading role to a woman of that age, of that stature, of that they don't. And she got it. And oh my God, like she's such an amazing performer. But my issue is the lawyer guy, her love interest.
Oh, he's so weird.
I am so not attracted to him. Like he's been in show
Absolutely.
business forever. I don't know
Oh, really?
why. I don't know why they keep casting him. He's not attractive. Like
He's
he's
not
not
authentic.
charming.
He's not
Yeah,
authentic. There's
he
something
doesn't seem human.
very cold about him. Like even in the
Yeah.
end, when you can see him smiling, it's so awkward,
So
and
awkward.
and you're like, I'm not sure that I wanted to see you smile. There's something not genuine about him. Although
Yeah.
the one that is the that works with him in the office,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is it? I don't know. Like that
Yeah.
eventually becomes the her cousin's boyfriend. Like
Yeah.
he's so colorful, and that's something that I like usually in
Mm.
Korean TV is that the
Yeah.
acting is very colorful. Like it's very
Yeah.
different than any other kind of acting.
Mm.
Absolutely. It took me a while to understand the Korean TV, like to enjoy that subtle kind of colorfulness in their acting. Like
Yes.
it's I can't even explain it, but it's different from what I'm used to. And the
Yeah. Yeah.
facials and being in it, and it's like between Bollywood and
Yeah.
Japanese like strict acting, somewhere in the
Yeah.
middle. But I don't
Yeah.
know if that's true. But
Yeah.
there's something special about it. And this dude is not a Korean actor. Like he's so
Yeah.
cold. He looks Japanese. Like I've seen Japanese TV and they're very like,
Yeah.
strict and cold and preserved and not showing anything on their
Mm.
faces. And he's like constantly like angry with himself and the world and
Yeah. Yeah.
restricted.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah. There's
ah,
something blocked. There's a blockage in him.
absolutely.
It's
Such a
very,
weird.
very stoic. Yeah. And so different from the female characters, his opposite leads, because
Yeah.
they are so authentically expressive and loud
Yeah.
and
But maybe
have
that's what they wanted to
personality.
show. Like maybe they wanted
Maybe
to have this
they're
ice prince
mhm, ice prince.
that likes that likes the common girl and finds her unresistible eventually and
Yeah,
such an
yeah.
old lady. So maybe
I
that's
yeah.
like
I'm happy that you understand or you relate to my feelings about the male
No,
actor
it
on
was
this
very
show.
awkward to see him smile.
Very
I
off.
have a friend that watches that I put her on Korean TV. I have a friend that we opened up the
Yeah.
community garden together here in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I told her like a year and a half ago that I'm really hooked on Korean TV, and she said to me, What are you doing with Korean TV?" And then eventually she started watching Korean TV. So now we have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
So I'm crying here, hello to Renata. Maybe she'll hear this. And
Yeah.
she and I were texting to each other. She recommended me to watch this show. And
Ah.
when we both saw his smile in the end, it was like, oh, too awkward, too awkward. This is not this is not a good TV moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
it
I
was.
we've met human beings like that, like in the world. I've met people
Oh,
like that in the world, and when I'm around them, I just don't know what to do. I feel so uncomfortable, like, and so self-conscious. But I think that's the lesson. It's like when you meet people like this, see how you react, and it's like I find myself suddenly very self-aware. You know, it's interesting.
yes,
But
you
okay,
do get self-aware.
yeah,
I can tell you that in the world that in the field that I work in, which is
yeah,
autism, there's many
yeah,
moments like that where there's
mm,
something in the social interaction which is not as uh, you're used to or maybe is socially
mm-hmm,
accepted,
yeah,
and someone might smile in the wrong moment, or someone might not even smile, and like the
yeah,
interaction is different. So I
yeah,
know what you're talking about, awkward. And yeah, being self-aware is actually a good thing to be, because
exactly,
that means
exactly.
that you're not judging anyone, not the
Yeah.
person in front of you, and not how you are reacting to this. And you're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
reacting out of this automatical kind of way of, I'm supposed to do A, B, C. No, no, no. You're just
Yes.
taking a
Yes.
moment and seeing what can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And that is literally it. It's like it's just self-awareness. You're becoming aware and
Yeah,
you're coming out of this moment. This is a different this is a different style of living. This is a different moment. This is a different vibration, different frequency. It's different from what you're used to. And there are moments that we need that. We need the reset. It's like a nice reset
yeah.
button. And those are the kinds of people who do that for us. But I wanna do something with you, and then we'll close up. You
Okay.
used to do this when you used to host at Dead End
Oh
Comedy
no,
Show.
do you have
And
do you have
I
like
pl-
small
I
notes?
play this game.
Okay.
It's I do it with most of my comedian guests, and even though you're not a comedian anymore, you still are to me. And um, I just ask you, what would you do if you were in this situation as this person? So it's an improv game, all right? So let's
Okay.
say let's
Which
say
person am I?
let's so I'll give you the question, you can answer, all right? So let's say
Okay. Okay.
you are this young lady, okay? You're the girl. You're Mijin, and you wake up one morning and you're in like a 50 something year old, 60-year-old woman's body. What do
Yeah.
you do?
Oh my God. I
And your parents
hide.
are outside, they're knocking on the door.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
hide?
yeah. No, like her response of going underneath the covers was such a strong response, and freaking out, like looking in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my God, is this me? Is this me? Um, and let's see, what would I do as an old lady suddenly? I think I would start baking. I think I would start baking.
Okay. Okay. Let's say
Maybe knitting,
you're
crocheting, knitting, like making myself a sweater.
Oh, okay. So you would do all the stereotypical old lady things. You're like, "All right.
Exactly. Okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay. Okay, this is me now. Okay, got it. Got it. All right. Well, let's say you're the dad, okay?
Okay.
You open the door. You're expecting your 20 something year old daughter to be in a room, but there's an old woman there and she keeps yelling like, "I am your daughter. I am your daughter." And you're
Oh,
the dad.
I would feel sexually harassed. Like, what's going on? This is weird. Like, why are you on to me? I'm married happily. I have nothing to do with you. And this would be weird because she is his daughter, and this is a bit, awkward and dark, but it would be like a
Yeah,
weird one.
that's that's crazy. Okay, I never would have expected that answer. Okay. All right, we're in this. Okay. Let's say let's say let's say now you're that young like K-pop star dude, security guard guy, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The handsome boy, the
Yeah.
pretty boy. And let's say your friend who you know as a young woman, right before your eyes, you see her transform into this older woman, and she's riding your bike and I mean her bike, and she's like it's just it happened right before your eyes. Like you know this young woman as your friend, but your friend just turned into an old lady in an instant, right in front of your eyes. What do you do?
I call my drug dealer and ask him for another dose. Like, no way this happened. What's going on? Like how I or another option is I would definitely check if there's a way to do that myself. Like, can I transition in that
Oh,
way?
oh,
Can I do the jump? Can I
yeah,
can I think that the most interesting part of the story is him when
yeah,
he is in love with her and he doesn't
mm-hmm,
care if she's old
yeah,
because it has nothing to do about her age. It's the way that she is behaving to him that
yeah,
opens his heart.
yeah,
Like, he does not care. He wants to buy her coffee anyways. And when he finds out that she's a young woman, he says, maybe this can actually be something. But
yeah.
that's an interesting one. I was
It
actually
really
sad that he
was.
has no girlfriend. Like, I was hoping in the middle of the show that her friend will
Yeah,
become his partner, because
yeah.
obviously the girl is meant to be with the prosecutor. But like, I was really sad to see that he only wrote more music about it and it only became a
Mm,
memory for him, and that there was no love
mm,
for him. That was sad.
mm.
Maybe it's a like a small thing saying, don't become famous, you will be very lonely.
I kind of read it as like when a person decides to love somebody
Mm,
or when they are in love with them, there's no reason or rhyme. It's just I just love you because I love you and that's it. And then it was like, "Oh, you don't love me back? That doesn't matter. I just love you because I love you." And he fully owned it. And how does a person express their love? Usually through creativity. And that's what he did. He executed it, you
yeah,
know? And so it's like giving himself that love. That love was coming back to him in some rewarding way. So I kind of really admired that character too for being so bold and brave in how he
yeah.
was loving and expressing himself. But yeah, I agree with you. He's such an interesting character. And
Can I talk about another character that I really wanted to talk about, and
yeah,
that's the murderer, like the
yes,
murderer herself.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
like, I've seen her in other shows as well, and she's usually
yeah,
this uptight mother, and it
mm,
was quite interesting to see her as this crazy lady. And I have
mm,
to say, my friend Renata knew it was her in the middle. I'm like, how? How did you figure that out? That she's her?
hmm.
And I don't know
What
how,
show
but
are
she
you
knew
talking
it.
about? What show was she an uptight mother in? I'm just asking to make
I
sure that she's the right actress.
Oh, maybe I'm fucking this up again. I don't know, but okay, let's take that assumption away. But she was
Yeah,
acting crazy
yeah.
so
This was
well.
different for
Like,
her.
in the beginning, she was this annoying woman at work where she's just letting other
Yes.
people do her job, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
that was the tell of why she's not worth of, being a good person. It's because she's shitty.
Hmm.
And and then seeing her kind of, being her full self, crazy lady,
Yeah.
um, obsessed and crazy and after money and after bullshit stuff and just
Yeah.
knocking, like killing whoever that's stepping in her path. That was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Out of bitterness,
Wow.
out of resentment, like taking out her resentment on others by taking their lives, by killing people. I mean,
She
um
did not accept the universe's gift.
genau. Genau.
Yeah.
That's that's a definite genau. Okay, well, all right, final question. Let's say you are the prosecutor, the stoic, weirdo, awkward prosecutor guy, all right?
Yeah.
Let's say you see this young woman who's your girlfriend. Let's say you see her transform as the old lady right before your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do?
Wow. I don't know. This is a tough one because he doesn't have a lot of like
Yeah.
meat
But
to
if
him.
you were him, right?
But if
If
I was
you were
him,
him, if you were him and you saw this is your girlfriend, you love her and you
in
want
a
to
way,
protect her. Yeah.
it's an opening to see how your wife will look in the future. Like
Oh yeah.
this is her in 30 years time. This is how she's gonna
Yes.
be. Like accept it. Don't expect her to be thin, smooth, and this is how she's gonna be. A bit kind of, in a different form. This is how she's gonna look like after a few children. Like accept
Yeah.
it. This is the future.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
by the way, you yourself will not look so awesome either. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, accept it.
Oh, okay. It's a
Yeah, in a
reminder.
way, like when I look at my mother, I mean,
Mm-mm.
I'm not the spit of my mother, but I look kind of like her. When I see her, I'm like, okay, that's how I'm gonna look like when
Yes.
I'm in my 70s. Like, prepare, Shirah, prepare. This is how you're gonna look like
Yeah. Yeah.
if I
Oh,
get to
I
be that age.
yeah.
If I
I
get
have
to be
that
that age.
same yeah. I have that same moment too. Like I think that's the gift of having a mother and a grandmother and like women relatives. It's like we look at them and we see our future. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared to embody this. Thank you for doing this and I appreciate you and I love you and I'm so happy that we had this time together. Thank you.
I love you, Gracie.